This is Stuart from the Planning Analytics team at IBM. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the new FillSpace template, which will be available in Workspace 2.0.89. I'll go ahead and I'll create a new book with the Book from Template option. And here we can see the new FillSpace template. It's represented by a solid outer line and a dotted inner line. This template is available in tab books as well as tabless books. I'll go ahead and I'll pick a tab book, and then we'll demonstrate the function of this new FillSpace template simply by adding a cube viewer widget on the book. We'll take this cube viewer, we'll set it to 100% width, we'll set it to 100% height. We can validate that through the properties here, 100, 100. And we'll notice that this cube viewer conforms to the book. So as I enable and disable the different properties panels, or say the fields panels, we'll see that it completely conforms to the available canvas area that's visible to the user within the web browser. Now, it's not possible for me to manipulate my web browser, make it smaller or larger in this video, but if I did, what we'd expect to see is the cube viewer, again, it just conforms to the web browser, right? This template doesn't just support single widget books, right? If I want to create other widgets or add other widgets to this book, I can do that as well. And then, of course, all of those widgets become responsive to the change in the book. One thing to note here is that there is a new property added to books to represent this. So here we see the FillSpace property added to the properties of the book itself. So I just clicked on the dashboard area in the book outside of any widget and then went to properties, and we can see the FillSpace option here. If I disable this, you can see I can still select between relative and absolute, although the FillSpace template really is neither relative or absolute. It's its own thing, which is kind of independent of either of those. There's also some interesting changes that we made to consume this, or to actually use this FillSpace template for views and web sheets within Workspace. In order to demonstrate that, I need to save my view. So I'm going to select my cube viewer here and save it as a view in the Workspace content store. So we'll just save it in a folder. Call this demo view. And notice that in this window, when we save the view, there's no option at the bottom right here to associate a template to the view. In Workspace 2.0.88 and lower, we had an option in here where we could save this view object outside the context of the book with a template. We've removed this because this FillSpace template automatically does the same thing. So we'll go ahead, we'll save this view, and then we'll actually go back to reports and analysis. We'll refresh our list of content here within this folder. We can see the view here, and now notice when we open this view, a couple things happen that's a little bit different than before. The first is it actually is opening up in a tabless book, right? So we use the tabless book here, and then within the tabless book, the template that we have picked is the new FillSpace template. The widget, the cube viewer, and this would work the same way with a web sheet, opens up set to 100% height and 100% width, right? And we can examine that through the properties of the widget. We can see it's 100% height, 100% width here. The other thing to make note of is that we also automatically disable this show selected border and preview option, just because when you're out of edit mode, it doesn't make any sense in this view to show the border around the widget here. The same thing works for web sheets as well. So if we go back to reports and analysis, and we look at the web sheet, we open this web sheet, again, same deal. It's opened up in the FillSpace template in a tabless book, 100% height, 100% width. Basically just giving the presentation that this web sheet is its own piece of content and not necessarily being consumed in a book. Although this is still a book, we just provide kind of a presentation here to make it feel like you're outside the book. An important thing to notice here is that there are no scroll bars in the FillSpace template, right? So we see the scroll bar of the cube viewer, but there is no scroll bar for the book itself, right? So in the past, it was definitely possible to get this sort of effect where you had double vertical scroll bars. Using the FillSpace template, we completely avoid that as well, right? So we have a bit of an advantage, to use or present web sheets and cube viewers in the FillSpace template because there's no possible chance of getting a double scroll bar effect showing up. So with that, this has been Stuart from the Planning Analytics team. That's a bit of a preview of the FillSpace template, which is going to be available in Planning Analytics Workspace 2.0.89. Thank you.